Hey everybody. How's it going? This is Scam Likely. Hi. Hello there, sports fans and hero worshippers of Apex City. This is Power Dunk Super Sports Live, the only live program in the city, bringing you all of the latest news. Actually, no, we're not doing that anymore. The event's
No.
over. I am, of
Yep,
course,
the
Scam
event.
Likely. And with me is the ever luminous Stellar. Stellar, keep talking.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome, Starlights, to the stream. Yes, the events of March Madness are over.
I'm going to switch us over to the actual layout for the stream.
Yes.
So yeah, we're just sitting here. We're going to do a live Q&A. I have some questions that I might have to look through here in a second.
Yes. Thank you, everyone who has asked questions.
Yes, absolutely. We really appreciate it. It is great to know that people are listening. If you have any questions for us, in addition to tweeting at home using the hashtag #PoDunkSoupSports, we'll also just take them out of the chat. Also, let me know if I need to change any audio things. I did the pre-stream to sort of test everything, but it didn't really get much feedback. It seemed like it was all right.
Yes. And also, before we begin, we should say a congratulations to the winner of March Madness.
Yes, guest of the show, Echo. Congratulations to Echo.
Congratulations, Echo. I'm glad that you were able to win.
Yes. I've been rooting for you basically the whole time.
Uh-huh.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
Alright, I guess we should, just start with our first question?
Yes, I think it would be best just get into it.
Alright, I have, for the first question here, it is actually directed to you, Stellar.
Oh.
Question for Podunk Soup Sports from a disgruntled fan. Stella, how could you not bring Lighthammer on as a guest? After all that I mean you, have been through, it just felt like it made sense. Plus, he's the biggest star in the competition, so shrug emoji. Signed, Heavy Mallet.
Well, Heavy Mallet, I would have loved to have Lighthammer on as a guest for this. He's definitely a big star. I remember finally all the times we spent together in the past, especially during March Madness. It's just when I try to call to get in contact with Lighthammer's agent, they just didn't seem like they were picking up the phone, and I guess, maybe Lighthammer just didn't want to come on. Maybe it was him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of it's how it goes with those famous types, you know?
Yes. And I understand if he was busy, but, there's always the possibility for next year. Lighthammer, call me, or I'll call you again. Hopefully this time you pick up your phone.
Maybe. We'll have to see in approximately 1 calendar year.
Yes.
So, what is your history with that Lighthammer fella?
I don't want to get into it right now. We met back during the first March Madness, and we were all disgruntled that they didn't invite any of us into the competition. And, from there I thought we bonded just a little bit. He was a little too, extra for my taste. And,
that must be pretty extra then.
Oh, Scam, you couldn't imagine,
Well, maybe we don't let him on the show then.
But anything else that has happened, it's fine. I don't want, the press to get this information. I'm sure they would love to hear more, but everything is fine.
Yeah, everything is fine currently. Alright, I have another question here. This one's directed to me. Let me get this pronunciation guide up. Scam, what do you say to allegations that you're the reincarnation and or distant relative of Aya Nasir? Now, first of all, I'll have you know that I do find this a little insulting. Because I did some research, and this Aya Nasir person is known as, quote, the worst business practitioner of their time. Lots of complaints written in, like on tablets. Scams being pulled about unusable copper. That seems, that's really just sort of painting me into a very unpleasant picture.
Uh-huh. I'm sure that's nothing at all like you, Scam.
Yeah, you've met me.
I have. I've known you for longer than I thought I would.
And I have never sold anyone ungraded copper. That is absolutely true about the things that I have done.
That's true. You've never sold anyone copper. Any.
Yes. All right. Let's see. What do we got for next questions? We've got another one for you. When's your next album dropping?
Oh, well, for any fans out there, I've been working hard. Doing this thing with Scam during March has kind of put some things on a back burner. But my newest album should be out this summer. I hope you all are excited for Burning Hearts. I have collaborated with some singers you might know, but it's a secret for now. But yes, look forward to about June or July for my next album to be dropping.
Well, I'm actually a little excited about that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know you listened to my music, Scam.
I mean, it comes on the radio.
Well, I hope you enjoy my new album. And please don't try and sell fake versions of it again.
No, people listen to the music for free online these days. Not really much of a market for bunk CDs.
Yeah.
Although maybe I should set up one of those YouTube channels that just sort of post full albums on them. Maybe I'll set up one of those. Anyways, please you had a question for me?
Me?
Yeah, I thought you were about to ask me a question.
No, I don't have any questions for you right now, Scam.
Alright, well, our listeners apparently do. We have one here from me that says, do international crimes count? Count being in quotes. Now, this is a very tricky question, and I will have to say that right now, anything that I say is not, cannot be held against me legally. It really depends on the definition of international that you're referring to. For example, March Madness and Hero Island exist sort of outside all known governing bodies. So anything you do there, that's on the up and up. But like, if you go across like one border to like, let's say, I don't know, smuggle some knockoff stagehand bobbleheads, that's questionable.
Scam.
What? That was just me coming up with an example.
You've never done that before in your life.
I have never done that before in my life.
Well, we'll see if that's
They
true.
were Noise Machine bobbleheads.
Why Noise Machine?
Because Noise Machine is slightly less litigious. Anyways, question for the both of us. Predictions for next March Madness.
Oh.
I think it'll take place in space. I think they're going to have like an international, interdimensional space station or something. That's my bet.
I mean, that's very possible. They did have some competitors who came from space in order to compete.
And then you could have like zero gravity competitions.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Space frisbee golf.
I suppose you may also encounter something similar to Hero Island, where the rules and laws in space are different than they are on Earth.
That's true. Space crimes don't count. For the person who asked that previous question.
Oh, on the moon.
I've heard some things about the moon.
You know what? I've been hearing some things about the moon as well.
I have heard that moon conspiracies are running rampant currently.
Maybe it wouldn't be the safest place to hold a competition.
I guess it depends on which moon. There's a lot of moons out there.
There are a lot of moons. I assumed it was Earth moon, but...
I am honestly a little bit partial of Ganymede, one of Jupiter's moons. But, there's a lot of them.
Yes.
Alright, now this last question from this person is for any guests. We do not have any guests, so we will answer it instead. Favorite kind of soup / superpower? Superpower, but with a U? Is that anything? Yes, that is all part of the question, as is this bit.
My favorite kind of soup is...
I am not allowed to comment on whether or not there is a prison on the moon.
I'm sure that any allegations about a moon prison are entirely false.
I know nothing about it. I am just like, as a broadcaster, I should not be commenting on such things.
No.
But as to the question, superpower with a U, that is in fact a thing. I know somebody like that. They don't like to talk about it.
You know someone with superpowers?
Yeah. They don't like to talk about it.
Okay.
It's really messy.
I imagine it would be. I imagine conjuring soup, especially if it's not in like a container, to be...
It's not conjuring soup.
Is it controlling soup?
They don't like to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it for them.
All right. Would you want superpowers that involve soup?
I mean, listen, the last time I had powers that ended very poorly for everyone involved, mostly me.
Yes, I remember Scam.
But the reason it went poorly was because of you, so...
Yeah, yes. We don't have to go over our history. No one's asked questions about that.
But, yeah, I am not going to... I would not like superpowers. I am fine how I am currently. I would enjoy some soup itself, though. It is getting a little chilly where I am recording.
Oh.
Is chili a soup? I think that's more of a stew.
No, yeah, I think chili is more of a stew than a soup. But my favorite soup has to be probably any kind of tomato-based soup. Sorry, there are some very noisy teens outside my window.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you're doing this. You're doing this remote, just for people at home to know. You are currently on vacation.
Yes, and I can't tell you where. Sorry, everyone. I want to try and keep the press away this time.
Yes, and I do not legally count as press, so it is fine.
Yes. No, I am not currently on the moon. I assure you, I can say that much.
My favorite kind of soup is probably like a Manhattan clam chowder.
Why am I not currently on the moon? Well, The moon's just not an ideal vacation spot. I prefer a place with more sun. And
The moon gets sun. That's why it shines during the night. It's reflecting the light from the sun.
I know how the moon works, Scam.
Alright, I just making sure you were aware of what you were saying.
But I also don't want to have to be in a spacesuit in order to, go about my day. Being on the moon is a bit trickier than just being on Earth.
It is a little trickier. That I will give you.
So, I have no plans to go to the moon. I have no reason to go to the moon. It's beautiful, but it's not a place I want to visit. Nor have I ever been on the moon. Those allegations are also false.
Alright, actually, we brought up Echo earlier, the winner of this year's March Madness. We do have some questions from Echo.
Oh!
Any update on looking into the safety of March Madness? Asking for a friend.
Yes,
so, unfortunately, all of the investigations into the event of March Madness have been sort of brought to a halt due to the event's completion and the disappearance of everyone involved.
Yes, we could not get in contact with anyone who was running the competition, except for the Leptolites, but they're not really, they weren't exactly the most conversational when they were asked questions. But next year, we will definitely get a head start on making sure that the event is safer.
And at the very least, our 11-year-old competitors will now be 12.
Yes. They will be older. That's still not ideal, but...
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
Question for me from Echo. Hey, can you tell your clones to please stop calling during the competition? It's getting really frustrating trying to survive Hero Island when your phone keeps going off and it's another Scam Likely clone. Listen, they're all robotic clones. I have zero control over them. I have not anything to do with robotics.
Do you need help taking care of them? I'm sure there's something that can be done.
Stella, this is false. I'm saying this because Echo... I didn't want to try to explain the idea of a robocall to Echo, alright?
Yes, but I feel like maybe there is something that can be done about robocalls,
Just like in general? I mean, probably. But it would involve, political work. And, a robocall is when a robot calls you. That's why they're robotic Scam Likely clones, Echo.
Yes, don't worry about it. We'll discuss this later, Scam.
Alright. We got another batch of questions here. First one is also for me. Actually, you know what? We'll skip over and go to the one for you.
Oh, thank you, Skip.
Dear Stellar, now that the competition is over, is there a team making sure that all the kids are going back to their right realities? Don't want that sad fish boy going to some desert place. Thank you. Anxious in Apex.
Do not worry. We have talked to the people we've talked to some people involved, and mostly the older superheroes, and everyone seems to be going back to the places where they're from. Everything seems to be working out quite nicely. We made sure that no one's going to be sent somewhere where they don't belong. Like, the lovely fish boy you were talking about, it's not going to end up in a desert. He's going back to the home, the orphanage that he was from in Prothean City with the rest of the younger competitors. The woman running that, it was very nice. I'm sure she's going to be a great hero one day. She's already is pretty great, from what I can tell. Don't worry, we made sure to check in and make sure everyone's getting home.
I mean, I guess it's probably just because that's where they found you, Echo, and that's why they sent you back to 2021, which is where we are currently.
Yes. You know, it's not a perfect system, but hopefully you're still with your team.
I am aware that they sort of stick to a very much put it back where you found it sort of belief.
I heard one team specifically just kind of left on their own. They had a device that was able to just kind of transport them back to where they were previously, so...
Now, was that before or after the supposed board game tournament that I heard happened on the island?
I believe it was after the board game tournament.
Okay.
Yes, we're sorry, Echo. Maybe one day you'll get sent back to your own time.
And be sure to have told us by the time you do. Alright, this question is for Scam. Dear Scam, you've said that this program is affiliated with Punch Buggy. What are they like? I am always impressed by their accomplishments and want to be like them. Thanks, Punched Up for the Bug in Paradigm. So, this program is not affiliated with Punch Buggy. I am just friends with Punch Buggy. This is not like an official affiliation. That being said, Punch Buggy is like, you know, he's like your average guy. You know, he's pretty down to earth for the most part. We go drinking sometimes, you know, pretty much like you'd expect from a guy like Punch Buggy. Knows a bit about mechanics. Yeah, he's just this guy, you know. He knows his way around a wrench. He knows his way around a car.
You know, I don't think I know Punch Buggy as well as you do.
He does have this one weird habit of eating peanuts with the shell still on, but like, you know, everybody's got their one thing.
Huh. That can't taste good, right?
I mean, if it's like a salted roasted peanut, it's gonna taste mostly fine. It's mostly probably the fiber that'd be the issue, right? I mean, I've tried it once. And that was really my problem, was the fiber. It just really hard to chew it. But, you know,
if you need
Punch
fiber,
Buggy's made of different stuff.
You know what? I'm not going to ask any more questions about this. I don't know if I want to know more.
I mean, his reasoning is that they put all the seasoning on the shells, which does hold up, you know. But, like, it is sort of questionable.
It is a little weird, but I suppose we all have our quirks. Except for me.
No, you definitely have a quirk or two. I'm just not going to say them out on the stream. I wouldn't do that to you.
Thank you, Scam.
Alright, we got another question here. I will read it verbatim. Hey, is this thing on? Oh, it is okay, I'm high. I don't have much time. I am talking to you from the future. You need to listen very carefully to what I'm saying. There is an event in your near future that will change the course of history forever. I would be there, but we don't. And then it just sort of ends.
Huh. That's a little concerning. It feels like this is not the first time this has happened. Or someone from the future tried to contact the past. I'm having a weird sense of deja vu.
I mean, I'm getting word here that everything is fine. So perhaps everything is fine. Maybe you hero types should probably be on the lookout just in case.
Yes, this is definitely something I'll bring up with Olivia and Kobe, because if there is something that's going to be happening soon that can change the course of history forever, I think we should be on top of it. Thank you for this warning, and hopefully whatever is happening during your time will be solved.
Yes, you know, worst case scenario, you know, you're from the future, so if things don't change, you're not going to be any worse off, right?
Scam.
What? I'm just, you know, that's just how the logic would work, right? I've never time traveled before.
I don't know much about time travel. I've never well, I have time traveled myself, but in different contexts.
All right, well, before we get too much into the science of time travel, let's maybe move on to the next question.
Yes.
Hi, long-time caller, first-time viewer, probable felony here. Hey, Scam, what gives? Wish you ratting out my shirt business. I've got feds all up in teasness, thanks to you. Now, I never said which business it was. You cannot trace this back to me. What, you think I was even talking about your business? I've had bad luck with your business, my friend.
Do you know a lot of t-shirt businesses, Scam?
Listen, t-shirts, you can get them done cheap if you get them in the right place, and they can sell for like reasonable prices because people are used to paying $20 for a t-shirt. If I get a t-shirt for $2 and I sell it for $20, that's like $18 of profit going straight into my pocket.
Yes. You've explained your business practices, Scam, before. Well, this is a question that's mostly focused on you, so I won't say anything else.
All right. I mean, I'm sure they would love to hear what you think about their t-shirt business.
I'm sure they do not want to know what you think of their t-shirt business. Is not positive.
All right. So one more question. This is the last question I've seen on Twitter, but I'll double check. Yo, Podunk, it's ya boy, the new hotness. Do y'all have the lowdown on why some heroes got selected for this shindig and others were stuck on the sidelines? Clearly there was a mix-up and my trophy is going to some nowhere city that's a school? Lame. Now, I will say that I do believe that Echo was the rightful owner of the trophy. That said, yeah. I do not know how they decide who goes in where. I know they just sort of like open up a portal and let like a handful of people in. Is sort of my understanding of it, but I've never been involved.
Listen, new hotness, I understand your grief with this. You know, last year I was upset that I wasn't selected, even though, you know, I'm internationally famous as a superhero and as a pop star. And it doesn't make any sense why I wasn't selected. And again this year, but, you know, their process they must have something, you know, where they select the heroes they think deserve it. So there was a hat. They picked names from a hat.
Yes, we are being told that there was a hat and that Echo was told they would get time off of school.
Huh. You know, it's okay because, you know, Stagehand was able to compete this year. And I'm really proud of her. And maybe next year will finally be my time to shine.
Are you sure you want to have competed in this event? Because, like, you know, they're not going to pick you from now, obviously. It's been even younger competitors this year than it was last year.
Yes. Yeah, it would definitely be me back when, you know, I first was superheroing.
And, like, if you consider the fact that, like, you know, all of the things that have been happening, especially regarding the safety of the event, are you sure you really want to have gone through that?
You know, maybe it's better that all the things I have been involved with are enough for me. You know, my name's out there. People know who I am.
You're an internationally renowned superstar.
That is
so
true.
I've heard.
It's the truth, Scam.
Alright, doing one last check in the hashtag. I am not seeing anything new. So I guess if you have any questions in the chat, let us know. Stellar, I do have a question for you personally.
Yes, Scam, what is your question?
What's your beef with me being friends with your wife?
Scam! Listen, it's just weird. You know, you were a villain that...
Yeah, she knows more than anybody.
Yes, and so it's just weird now that you're friends with my wife when it's weird that your former foe, at least one of them, is friends with your wife now.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you had a spouse and I became friends with them? Are you even... Never mind, I don't want to know.
I mean, I wouldn't say now. That's very personal information to be giving away on a live stream.
Uh-huh. I mean, I have heard some rumors.
I will not be speaking on those rumors.
So you've heard them too?
No, and that's why I'm not speaking on them.
Oh, you've been asked a question.
Yes, we have a question here from Echo asking if we have anything fun planned for Podunk Soup Sports next year.
There's definitely something in the work, I think. But, we have a whole year to figure it out. Or, I suppose, 11 months.
Oh, so you're going to go ahead and sign on for next year? Good to know.
I suppose... I mean, who else are you going to find that is going to do this with you, Scam?
I don't know. I just sort of assumed you agreed to this one because it was last minute and you didn't have time to think it through.
This wasn't the worst thing I've had to do.
Alright, well, with that in mind, I'll have to start thinking extra hard. Alright, we have another question here. Do we expect a significant other side bracket for next year? Are there enough of those amongst these teenagers?
Yeah, are these teenagers dating?
I mean, it's not unheard of, but...
No, I mean, of course not. I started dating my wife back when I was a teen.
But, like, juggling that with being a hero and all the powers and just being a teen in general, that seems like a lot.
Yes.
I didn't date when I had powers and was a teen.
Have you ever dated, Scam?
Like I said, I'm not commenting on any rumors that may or may not be happening.
Well, I think that would be a very cute bracket, depending on how it goes. We can see... there's a lot of potential in that, as long as everyone is comfortable with doing a bracket like that. If there's enough couples who want to participate, I don't see the harm.
Yeah. Like, they even had a board game bracket and, like, a parental figures bracket. It seems like they're sort of open to whatever wants to happen happens.
I heard someone was trying to do a cuteness bracket, but that didn't work, and they just handed out ribbons to everyone that says the word #1 cutest.
I mean, that is kind of like a hard thing to judge. And kind of a rude thing to judge overall.
I know. But, I suppose that's a bracket we could see next year. It's hard to say now. Hopefully it doesn't lead to any problems. Both with the couples and outside of the couples.
Alright, I think that might be everything unless we get any more last minute questions here. But in that case, Stella, do you have anything you want to say to the folks at home until next year? Or, let's just say next year.
Yes, of course. Thank you all for tuning in and for listening to us during these last few broadcasts. It has been an honor and a bit of a concern being able to talk about the March Madness bracket. I have loved all the guests we've had. I can definitely see that these young heroes have a bright future ahead of them, and I wish them all the best. Even those who didn't make it through, I think you are all exceptional, and please remember that even when it is dark, there is always a light to be found. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The investigations next year into the safety will be entirely dependent on the Kopi process or whoever else would like to be involved.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would say join the conversation, but, you know, show's over, folks. If you want to tweet with it anyways, it was Podunk Soup Sports Soup, like that question we had earlier about soups. And with that, I am going to play the music to lead us out. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care, Starlights. Okay, I'll mute myself.
Masks: A New Generation is written for Magpie Games by Brenton Conway. It is made of questions, answers, and even more questions. Consider giving it a look-see. Big thanks to James Malloy, who organized March Madness. James can be found at And the Meltdowns, and you can follow March Madness on Twitter, at March Madness. Scam and Stellar's profile pictures were done by Ayumi. Check her commissions out at Ayushi Knows on Twitter. Scam Likely is played by Cassidy, who also edited this episode and did the album art and stream layout. She can be found on Twitter at MadLobotanist. Stellar is played by Charlie. She can be found on Twitter at magical_pride. The intro and outro music were written by Jeremy, who normally runs this podcast, which can be found on Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, or giving Cassidy far too much creative control over canon. Follow Apex City on Twitter at ApexCityCast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next issue.